Howdy fellas, Frankie Day here. Okay guys, this evening's video is number 2 on the Battle of Britain group build featuring my GPM 124 scale card model of the Junkers 88, the Trumpets of Jericho. Okay fellas, it's taken off from video number 1. I had the cockpit tub completely all done, ready for installation inside the cockpit skin, which will seal up the tub. That has been installed, and the whole fuselage has been complete, fellas. Except I got a couple things I got to do to make sure it's complete to the stages I want it. I still got to add the gun sight on the front of the cockpit, also the joystick, and that pretty much completes the fuselage. And the tail feathers will follow. Okay, guys, I got it set over here drying. I've been on this pretty much a couple days now, so I'm gonna let it dry. And tomorrow, the first thing I do before I see any further on her, I'm gonna smooth out the seams by using a back of a teaspoon and a knife. Those you fellows out there, well, no, hey Frank, what's burnishing mean? Burnishing is a term by us card modelers is to rub. When you got a seam that's together, when you rub, eventually you'll loosen the fibers of the formers inside the skins, and it'll smooth itself out, and you'll rid the seams the best way you can. So it's a must to always to burnish out, be using the back of a teaspoon on the butt handle of a butter knife, or you can smooth out the connector tabs by using the flat of the knife, which are good tools. But you're going to venture this, guys, ask Mama Son first. You take her silverware from you like that, she'll get up all mad at you. So always ask Mama first. Okay, guys, we'll go over here and take a look at the results on it, and I'll discuss what I'm going to be doing on it, and I'll show you what I mean by burnishing. And we'll come back to yours truly and finish up the video, and go ahead and put on the plate what I'll be doing next. Okay guys, the camera's friendly in this I do know, and so we'll come over here and take a look at the Stuka right here in the fuselage in its entirety. There she is, fellas, right there. Remember I had the tub right there? I had the tub enclosed inside the cockpit itself, and I put the skin on it, and the former's been added. And I made these by sub-assemblies. You got the left fuselage empennage, you got the section, the second fuselage lingerie section, and you got the main section here, and also got the cowling done too. The cowling consists of a lot of parts, folks, and we'll zoom in a little bit, take a little closer at it. So you can see pretty much the detail is done on her. And it's a nice model, guys, so it's coming pretty good. It's going together quite well. Well, I'm pretty happy. And so we're going, since this is about as far as I got on her, so I'm going to be working on the tail feathers next. I got all the exhaust pipes on there real good. The cowling is on real good. Right, here's the seam, fellas. This is what I'm talking about. You take this spoon and you just rub. You just keep on rubbing. You rub, and that'll smooth up that seam right there, be nice and smooth. And that serves as panel lines. The same thing on a real aircraft, how they put together sub-assemblies. Actually, what I like about card models are, they're more or less assembled the same way as a real aircraft actually is by sub-assemblies. And we'll go aft over here. I got to burn more seams right here a little bit. Make sure it's nice and smooth. And the tail section is pretty much there. And like I say, fellas, you take it back of this teaspoon here, and you just burnish like this. This is called burnishing in card models, and you'd be astounded and amazed how well this operation works. It smooths out all the seams up there, because like I say, when you're adding friction, and those formers are made out of light cardboard, and you're loosening up those fibers, and pretty soon you'll smooth out the skin any way you want it. So don't overdo it. Just make sure it's good and smooth. Then, like I say, after we get done, take a can of this Krylon right here, which I highly recommend, and give it a good coat of spray when it's done. It'll seal in the printing. Right here's my favorite, guys. This one I like the most right here. This is the tail section right here, and we got the former in place right there, as you can see. And it's got to be formed a lot, fellas. You got to make sure it's formed here before you put it on this model. A lot of guys get aggravated when they build car models. They cut the pieces out and go ahead immediately and glue it to the car model, and they're at lost. So what you got to do is you got to form all these parts right here. So you always best to form the parts first before you put it on this model. So this right here, I got more ribs that got put inside this fuselage and this rudder right here. I can put a spar through here and a couple ribs right there, which will hold this up. That assembly right there goes on top of the stabilizer. And we'll just give you a little fast idea here. It goes on about like this. And there's your tail fin for the mighty Stuka. And I'm very happy with this model, guys. It's going together quite well. Again, you can see the detail of the cockpit I put in this thing. A lot of detail. And like I say, you can't repeat anymore. You take this, you just burnish it like this all around. But be sure to lay something smooth over, like a piece of newspaper or something. That way you won't scratch the printing on this thing. And just keep rubbing and feeling. And your hands are a lot better than your eyes at times, because you can feel. If you feel something rough there, you just burnish it out, it'll smooth out, and your job's done. No muss, no fuss. And that does it right there. So next video, fellas, on here I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start working on the tail feathers, the vertical stabilizer and the horizontal stabilizer, and I'm going to work on the tail wheel assembly. And after I get done with that, I'm going to start working on the wings and get the wings on. And lastly, will be the cockpit, the canopy parts, the machine guns, and a lot of the detail parts, and the undercarriage, and the bombs, dive brakes, and she's about as good as done. So this is far I got of the mighty Stuka, fellas. This is going to be a big airplane when I get done. It's 1/24 scale, and for the final reveal, if my Focal FW190 don't mind, I'm going to grab old Johan out of there. He's going to be Hans Rudel. So I'll have him sit beside the cockpit of this airplane. Old Panzer Bill was like that. Panzerman's Bunker Bill would love to see that in there. I'll do it just for him. So like I say, fellas, you got to make sure that this glue is dry before you burnish it, because you don't want to burnish this while the glue is wet. Because what you do is, if you burnish it when it's wet, it'll distort the paper and the plane will fall apart on you. Actually, sometimes the fuselage sections will come out, and when it's too wet like that, you can cripple the formers. So you can make sure it's good and dry. So when it's good and dry, that's the best time to do some burnishing. Okay, fellas, we'll put this camera down to yours truly here. Here I is again. And what I'm going to do, fellas, next video I'll post on this will probably be it'll be on Tuesday. So next Tuesday I'll have the tail feathers all done, the rudder installed, and the tail gear be all installed, and start working on the wings. So I'll have a video of that coming up, and I might be able to bring out another a subsidy for the Battle of Britain group build. I probably got another English aircraft I could probably bring in on top of the Stuka. I just haven't made my mind yet if which one I'm going to bring in. But I'm having so much fun with this Stuka here, fellas. So I'm going to concentrate on this for a while, and I might bring another kit out, another entry. So do tell, but like I said, I'm having so much fun with this Stuka. I'm just having a blast with it. It's going together so well for me. And so I'm going to go back and touch up some paint work on it. So like I say, fellas, if you're painting these car models, you can be very careful. A card model purist will not use paint at all. And they're funny, some of those guys are. They say, no, I'm a purist. I don't believe it, but don't paint on it or nothing. The only thing we use is either a Sharpie pencil or an ink pen. But when it comes to paint, don't use it. Don't be bashful, fellas. A card model, sometimes they need a little help. Paint works very, very well, especially when inside the formers. For the fuselage to glue together, you can paint the inside of the former. That way you won't see no whiteout. So don't be bashful when it comes to using paint on card models. They're quite acceptable. Okay, guys, that's about enough for tonight. I had a bit of a train yesterday. I was on the computer. The next thing I know, some virus got in there and just screwed everything up. It just screwed up everything. I'll get pop-ups right and left, pop, 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 all over the place. Oh my God, this thing is totally trashed. So I broke down about another computer, and before I sign off, I'll take a fast look at it, fellas. And there it is right there, boys. And this is a good computer. I paid some pretty good dough for it, so I made sure that my antivirus is working real well. I don't know how that thing got in there. See, this, I had Windows 8, and somehow it went to an automatic update, and when it did, it turned around and let a virus in without catching it. The Trojans, the spiders, everything. It just really messed me up. So anyway, that's my new toy I got for the month. I had to take Uncle Sam's pension check that I got. Consulted with Mama San if I'd be okay and go pick one up. She says it's okay. You gotta have, you have. So I have. Okay, guys, that's enough for me for tonight, and enough for the Stuka. And I'd like to thank everybody again for tuning in, and may God bless. So stay tuned for this Tuesday for video number 3 of the Battle of Britain group build featuring my Stuka. I should have some great progress done on it. Okay, guys, that's Frankie signing off. May God bless. Please subscribe, make Mama happy, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye, boys.